All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the pickup truck news segment of the channel here. So, big news at Ford. Ford cancels planned electric car production at Oakville, Ontario. So interesting. Ford will use its plant in Oakville, Canada, to expand production of its combustion pickups instead of electric vehicles as previously planned. Production of three-row electric SUVs will be moved to another plant, but it is still unclear exactly where it will be produced. The U.S. car maker previously postponed the production of a three-row electric SUV in Oakville from 2025 to 2027. Further details of this model, such as a name or key data on the drive technology, are still not available. So Ford had justified the postponement, which was only announced this April, by stating that the consumer market of three-row electric cars will continue to develop until 2027, and that the electric SUV can already benefit from new battery technologies. So it's not now clear that the production will take place in Canadian plant at all. So they're more or less saying here with that statement is they're just going to focus on the combustion engines probably there at that plant moving forward, but it's not official. But by that statement, I would say it's going to be a done deal. Ford does not address this in the current announcement on occupancy in the Oakville plant, but it confirmed the information to Inside EVs. They also reported that the new production site is still up for discussion. So they're planning on building a brand new plant there. So it's still up for discussion. So costs a lot of money to build something like that. You're talking big bucks. And they're just going to make sure that they're going to make a profit as well. So instead of the large electric SUVs, Ford will now build models from its Ford Pro commercial vehicle division at the Oakville Assembly Complex, specifically the F-Series Super Duty trucks. These vehicles are positioned above the consumer-oriented F-150, depending on their size, of course. They are either pickups or chassis. These models will also be electrified in the future. So, interesting. But only as far as hybrids and not purely electric. Oh, smart move right there. I like that. They're only going to make hybrids. All the car companies should have been doing that in the first place, not pure electric. Personally, I don't think the infrastructure is there to switch everybody over to electric until that comes. Build the hybrids, folks. The Super Duty models are also built in Kentucky and Ohio, while the F-150 is built mainly in Michigan and Missouri. So the manufacturer announced in April 2023 that electric vehicles and batteries would be assembled in Oakville. At that time, it was stated that the conversion work would start in the second quarter of 2024. After completing the billion-euro work, the plant was supposed to be renamed from Oakville Assembly Complex to Oakville Electric Vehicle Complex. Now it's still referred to as the Oakville Assembly Complex. So Ford remains committed to developing a growing and profitable electric vehicle business, including three-row electric utility vehicles, leveraging its experience as a leader in U.S. three-row utilities and America's #2 electric vehicle brand, the automaker says. In fact, Ford is currently putting the brakes on its EV plans. In addition to the three-row electric SUV, production of a new electric pickup was also postponed in 2026. So the LFA battery factory in US will be smaller than its initial planned, and the battery factory in Turkey will not be built at all. In 2023, the Ford Model E electric car division posted a loss of $4.7 billion, yikes, with a further $1.3 billion added in the first quarter of 2024. So they lost big time on that. That's almost $6 billion. Very interesting news. So, it sounds like to me that Ford is slowing down and not going as fast and hard as they wanted to with the Oakville EV market, and changing that over to pure EV stuff. So yeah, interesting. It's kind of good in a way because, it's going to, mean more Super Duty trucks will be built here in Canada. It's going to be better, more jobs there available for those folks. So, Ford, when you're having $6 billion in losses, it's kind of a wake-up call. But hey, within time, once the infrastructure is there, once the battery capacity gets there where you can drive longer, things may improve, but I don't think it's going to improve for at least another 5 to 10 years before we get to that point where we can just walk away from combustion engines. I don't even think we are ever going to walk away from combustion engines, but that's just me. I always think there's going to be a demand there. Build the hybrids instead, that way you have both best of both worlds. You got combustion, you got electric, so you can go electric, and then you can switch over to combustion. And then, if your combustion engine breaks down, you have a backup. You can switch over to electric to get you to where you're going. And same goes with if the electric breaks down, you get the combustion to switch over to get you where you're going. So, so that's part of the news today. What else do we have from any of the manufacturers? Let me take a look here right quick. And some other news that I see here. Ford to delay all-electric SUV truck to focus on offering hybrid vehicles across its lineup by 2030. So there you have it, folks. It's going to be, when it comes to their SUV and truck market, they are going to only offer hybrid vehicles across its lineup by 2030. So there you go. So that's awesome. You're going to have the best of both worlds, just like I was just saying there. So this came out of Detroit, of course. In delaying production of the new all-electric SUV and truck market for the trucks, as it shifts to offer hybrid options across its entire North American lineup by 2030, the Detroit automaker said it will continue to invest in EVs. They're still going to continue, but it is postponing production of all 3-row SUV plants in Canada by 2027 from its initial plan. So the next generation pickup, codenamed T3, is being pushed back from 2025 to 2026. The shift in EV plans to the latest for Ford and the entire automotive industry as an adoption has been, it's been slower than many expected, and production costs remain high. So there you go, right? So, production costs are very high still, and the sales are not there to meet the production, cost of making these vehicles. Ford last year said it delayed or canceled $12 billion in planned spending on new EVs due to the shifting market conditions, as well as challenges to profitable building and selling the vehicles. So the Ford brand ranked second in EV sales during the first quarter of this year behind Tesla, but the Detroit automaker as a company ranked third overall. Both Tesla and Hyundai, including Kia and Genesis, outsold Ford in EVs. There you go. So as the number 2 EV brand in the U.S., for the past years, we are committed to scaling a profitable EV business, using capital wisely, and bringing to the market the right gas, hybrid, and fully electric vehicles at the right time, Ford CEO Jim Farley said Thursday in a statement. So the Ford brand ranked second in EV sales behind Tesla, but the Detroit automaker as a company ranked third in EV sales during the first quarter of this year. So both Tesla and Hyundai have outsold Ford in the EV segment. The 3-row SUV was part of a roughly $1.3 billion investment. Again, that was going to go to the Oakville assembly plant in Ontario. So that's been mothballed pretty well. The additional time will allow the consumers market for 3-row EVs to further develop and enable Ford to take advantage of emerging battery technology, with the goal to provide customers increasing durability and better value, the company says. Ford said it will continue to focus its EV efforts on new plans such as its Blue Oval City campus in Tennessee, rather than transitioning current facilities producing engine-powered vehicles to all-electric models. So, kudos to Ford. I think, you know, the hybrids is the way to go. And again, time will tell. If you haven't already liked to subscribe, please do so to help the channel. And I will see you in the next video. And don't forget to search for us on Google or Bing or Yahoo at Truck Report Geeks. And that's it for today. Bye for now.